Yeah, well, first of all, thank you again for coming all the way. I appreciate that, and I'm really excited to learn more about the EP and the band. And actually, it would be nice if you tell me how to pronounce it properly, because I'm not sure. Does it come from the French word or?
Yeah, it's a French word.
Yeah, okay.
I think none of us had French in school.
I had.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
You got it.
Oh,
Folkeskole.
Yeah.
It's Être.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's kind of you don't pronounce the last e.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of do because it's easy.
Yeah, I mean.
Être.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. Anders said Être.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you decide on this name? That's a side question completely. But
what?
Why did you decide on this name? How did it come up?
I think we were just looking for cool sounding words, like of course words that hasn't been used for band names yet, or like maybe only for very small bands.
Yeah.
And then also something that of course had a cool meaning, and it means to be. So it's very existential and proggy, I think. It was actually our drummer came up with the name. Yeah,
it's a pretty cool name. I think it matches well with, at least from what I've heard from the first EP.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense to me. Then I checked it after because I was like, yeah, maybe I should get some background about this. What does it mean and so on. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
That's good for you.
Also, being good looking in writing is important.
That's true.
Yeah. Pretty letters, E's and T's are pretty letters.
Yeah. And like
turning the E around is good graphical or easy graphical solution.
Yeah, it's very symmetrical also.
Yeah.
You can play around the world.
South Harbour didn't really have that.
No, it didn't. No, I wasn't a big fan of South Harbour.
Oh well.
Google, what city do I live in?
Well, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, but that's actually one of the first questions. You started as a one-man project. Then other people joined, and you began as South Harbour. But yeah, then Freja came and Axel entered as well, the band, before you became the new lineup. So what happened? Why did you decide to change the concept and increase the lineup? Or what's the story behind that?
That's a difficult question. Like way back when I wrote it, I started the one-man project thing because I got tired of playing with other people for a while. I used to be in a more sort of prog metal bands, screaming metal stuff called Risk Exist or Risk Dash Exist, also super prog. And after that, it ended semi-poorly, and I was super tired of people not working as hard as I wanted to. So I just started writing a lot of on my own, and along I came up with that concept of having different singers and all of that. And then I wanted to play live, and then I found Christian, who crazily enough is my girlfriend's high school friend.
Okay.
And we studied at the same place, so he helped me out with my one of my final exams where I rewrote some Bach and Mozart pieces for electric guitar.
Oh, nice.
So we got to play a little bit there, and I just asked him if he was interested in playing some more crazy stuff, and luckily he was, and we just have a good sort of creative chemistry together. We work really well together, and that was kind of what I missed before.
Yeah.
So pretty early on, we became sort of the main things in the project, and things started to grow, and we wanted to do something else then, because no offense, singers can be the worst people on earth to work with. So we wanted to find someone which also had this, we could have this creative bond or this work ethic with. And luckily you also studied musicology for a short while. Yeah. So we are the introverted academical prog band.
Yes.
It's a very strong brand, yeah.
I knew her sort of peripherally.
Yeah.
A little bit. And then we met with Andreas, who plays bass in Feather Mountain. We went to see Spirit Box and something else.
Yeah, and I knew Andreas. And then we talked.
Yeah, we hung out a little bit your mountain of a little brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My very, very big.
Super rich.
Super tall.
Yeah, so we hung out and wrote a bit on Messenger and tried it out, and it just worked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important to find the dynamics. You can't make a band with just anyone.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
exactly.
a very rare thing. I think the creative dynamic. Like I've met very few people where I feel like we can like communicate on a creative level, and there's a flow. And,
yeah, it's pretty hard to achieve that. Yeah. I haven't been in a band, but creatively speaking, it's hard to be on the same wavelength and see things in the same way. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and not to say we don't disagree on things sometimes, but yeah, we have a good system of sort of sorting out the ideas and argument why we think things should be a specific way, right? If that is artwork or songs or stuff like that.
And
we have a good, healthy way of doing it.
Yeah, and we can just tell each other if there's something that we don't agree on.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally. That's also important.
Yeah, that's very important. Sometimes like ego and opinions can clash very hard, but that's good that you find this dynamic. And in that sense, like I mean, you've been playing together for not that long time, but comparing to your lineup before as a one-man project and then two-man project and so on, how does this new lineup affect you as a band? What kind of challenges and what kind of opportunities would you say it brought to you, or is it too early to speak about that?
I would say the biggest problem we have is we don't have a drummer. That's a pretty obvious problem. Yeah. But that is just what we talked about with ambitions and sort of the whole creative side of things has to work out somehow.
Yeah.
And it just didn't this time around, so we're still looking. We're not going to be the MacBook Pro that we are now.
No, but for now it's okay because we needed to just focus on the release and we're getting ready for that. I think so. We stopped looking like
for a while at least. But I think it's we are sort of blessed in a way that Christian and I, before we really got together, we wrote all of these songs, so we have something to work with and to work on. But we didn't write any lyrics, and we thought a bit about there was supposed to be a singer, but none of us did any melodic writing or anything like that. So we are kind of reworking all of the songs every time we start a new EP. We go through all of the songs and change things, and if Freja comes up with something that needs to be longer or shorter, stuff like that, we rework the songs a little bit around that. So everybody kind of contributes, and we basically just try to make the songs as good as possible, as I think it should be, and not again the ego thing, not say I wrote it like this because it's the best, right?
Yeah.
But we still have a lot of learning to do. We just talked about it the other day with PR, for example. This time around, maybe we have to stretch it out a little more for the next EP, or we get better at recording. We record all of our own things at home. We need to be more strict with that, and we learn new things every time.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's nice. And also, with Axel coming in as the last one. Yeah, Axel was the last one. John. Yeah, and he knew our old drummer, Frode. They read or study math together, something like that. Also very in line with the whole frog thing. And he comes from a whole different background, so I think he has also had a lot of work to do with sort of figuring out how to keep himself in it, but also get in line with what this type of music is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. But of course, it's a lot of learning, and you try and you see how it works out.
Yeah.
But I think you're on the right path, so it's just gonna get better from here.
And it's also nice that we come from different backgrounds, so we have different things to put on the table, so to speak.
Yeah, and different perspectives and everything. It's important also. Yeah, but that's why. Yeah, you spoke a little bit about your songwriting process. That was one of my other questions, because your songs are like very, very diverse in instrumentals and vocals as well. It's a really great combination. So how do you usually construct a song?
We don't really write in a rehearsal space or something like that.
Yeah.
Usually, or with these 3 EPs, it's been Christian and I who has been singing in a software called Guitar Pro.
Yeah.
A meeting software. So we write everything out on sheets, send it back and forth, fix each other's things and do all of that. And when it's sort of phase 2 ready, we call it. Then we make a demo of it and we present it to Freja.
Yeah.
And then for this EP at least, we went to the rehearsal space and we just demoed stuff out.
Yeah. So I've been like listening to the stuff at home, listening over and over again. Some of the time, stuff will just appear. I'll just hear like a melody for the vocal, and then I write lyrics like at the same time, sort of, or back and forth, and then I'll go to the rehearsal space with Alexander, and we will kind of bounce it back and forth. And,
yeah. And yeah, basically it's the same sort of process as phase 1, right? Writing Guitar Pro, you make something and you leave it for a little while and go around and listen to it back and forth, change a few things.
Yeah.
The same with vocals. Maybe we're in the rehearsal space and we think it's the best thing in the world, and then you wake up in the morning and listen to it again, and you figure out, okay, maybe this needs to be fixed. And,
But I think I'm much more like you go about it very like structurally and theoretically, and I'm very intuitive, and I'm really bad at music theory, so I'm just freestyling, and then it becomes something at some point.
Yeah, but that's good. Then you have 2 different approaches, so you kind of find a middle ground, the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and then again, luckily, like with Christian and I, Freja and I also have just a creative chemistry in some way that, and we could not have known beforehand if it would work out or not. And luckily, it just does, and we just work really well and really effectively together, I think.
We agree on like most things.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Most things.
Yeah.
The key word.
No, it can be all perfect. You have to disagree at least on some part.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, that sounds like a good way to do it. And obviously it's working out.
Yeah, and we keep thinking about the process a lot. This time around, for example, when we're going to track again, we changed some things around. We used to track at Christian's house. He lives at Møn, south of Copenhagen.
Yeah.
And we did that, and we figured out it was a bit rough for Freja to be there an entire weekend and track everything, and a bit stressful. So this time around, we move it closer to where we live, at least, so we can have more sessions and be a bit more relaxed with it. So also the recording process as well as the creative things are sort of reworked all the time to be optimal. And luckily, someone in the band is a gear hoarder.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of stuff around.
That's nice. Yeah, that always helps.
Yes.
All right. Well, then a little bit more about the first EP. And as far as I know, it already existed before your new lineup. But what was the process in general about creating it, like as a renewed band, and also like in general, how did the idea about it come up, and what did you aim to achieve as a final result?
Yeah, I think originally it just started as a sort of we'll see what happens thing. Christian and I needed to try to write music from scratch together that I didn't write beforehand. And we ended up writing a lot of songs.
Yeah.
and 15 songs, and we were kind of happy about most of them. All of the songs that didn't get to phase 2 to be sort of completed and demoed out were scratched earlier on. So we had a lot more songs going on, but those were the 15 good ones.
Yeah.
Quote unquote good ones. And I don't even remember when we came up with the whole trilogy thing.
That was before I entered the band.
Yeah, I think we talked about it because we had so many songs, and we didn't want to do an album and cut 5 songs or something like that. So we thought it would be a cool thing. Also because they are sort of themed.
They're like songs from different EPs that are connected, sort of.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's a trademark or something. Both in South Harbour and this, I often write songs in pairs for some reason, and that are sort of alike. And it was cool to, or at least the idea was cool to spread them out to different EPs and then have them relate to each other, both musically but also later lyrically, having references. So it ends up becoming more of a completed work in the end. In 2 years' time or when we're done.
It seems like a very proggy thing to do, but I haven't really seen it yet. Like 3 EPs with the same like theme. Theme. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. Yeah, that's why I was really like fascinated, and also I can see the main thread in the first EP. There is a strong concept there, so that's why I was curious. Like, how did it? Was it a bigger concept that you decided to separate in different chapters, or what was the story there? But yeah, that makes sense.
Then of course a lot of the stuff comes from the vocals as well, right? Both melodic stuff being repeated, but also lyrics and
It's the first EP is called Human, and next two I don't know if that's something we already want to expose now, but
yeah, sure.
Sure.
We just exposed stuff today.
The next EP is called Humane, and the last is called Inhumane. So they all have human, and it's all about humanity and about what it means to be a self-aware creature in finite reality, and all the struggles that comes with that, like existential thoughts, mental struggles, stuff like that.
Oh, that's really great. Like, yeah, now it makes a lot more sense. Because I was thinking, like, you're probably going in this direction, but it can go different ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to unpack.
That's cool. Yeah, and that makes sense with your main inspiration being existential dread, as we saw. Makes sense. Yeah, that's I'm excited to see the rest, and that's really cool concept. But yeah, that was one of my other questions, was about the concept behind the other EPs, but you kind of talked about it already. And is it already, like, are you already working on the songs, or how far are you in the process of?
Almost done with the second EP, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah, again, we're really lucky that, I don't know if it's luck or we just prepared a lot. But all of the songs are basically done, so we just need to go through this phase thing again of checking it through and doing vocals and then reworking a little bit, and then they're practically done. So all the hard work is made beforehand.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm not complaining.
So we just started. Axel just finished almost tracking bass for the next EP. And we talked about this early on when we formed and changed name and all of that as well, that it's a good PR thing as well, because we are ahead of the schedule. So we can release stuff over the next 2 years, and then we can write new stuff while all of that goes on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So in a way, it's we win also in the business planning part.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually, because it's also like another thing, having the band is not just about making the music, you also have to do the PR and promotion and artwork and so many other things, so it's really good to be ahead of it.
So much work.
But that's also a thing we have to learn. This is the first time I worked a little with ads before, but it's the first time I do from scratch ad campaigns and stuff like that. So we get numbers, and the algorithm gets smarter every time we run a campaign as well. So hopefully we'll keep getting improved over time.
Yeah, but it's really good that you're kind of one step ahead already. So
and we can see already now we released a single Friday. And it already pays off, right? We got this interview and we got in Short Center today as well. And we have a lot of stuff coming over the next few weeks as well.
That's awesome.
The Excel spreadsheet with contact emails was
But that's awesome. Like, that's really good, and that's the way to do it. Like, you have to get yourself out there, because the music is really good. I mean, I'm not just saying that I really enjoyed it, but of course.
It's hard to tell yourself when you've been listening so much to it. It's like every other day you like it, and every other day you're like, oh no, what is this?
Yeah, it's crazy when you spend so much time with something, you kind of, your perspective blurs a lot. Well, you kind of already revealed like the themes, and probably the lyrical content is obviously connected to the concepts, so I'm not going to ask you again about the other EPs. Yeah, in terms of sound, like you have a very interesting, diverse combination of sounds and vocals and instrumentals. Would you say you're satisfied with what you have so far as a band, or are you planning on pushing it further and experimenting more with different inspirations?
Yeah, basically, it's just that we're already sick of the songs that we're releasing now because we listen to them so much. But as I said from the beginning, I'm super excited about a very specific track on the very last EP. Actually, probably the final song on the last EP coming is. I think it's the last song I wrote. I haven't written any other songs since.
No.
So it's still my Apex piece. Yeah. We also talked about it a bunch when we have to write new stuff. We don't know how it's going to turn out or what we want to do then. Because we have all of this work in front of us now.
But we do have songs where we feel like these are our favorite songs, and there's some elements in those songs that we want to explore more.
Yeah, I think we're gonna play around with basically everything that touches us at the moment that we have to write new music. It's like it works sort of like a snapshot of where you are. And I can still when I listen to some of the songs that are already done, I can kind of remember the kind of times around it, and it goes through the music and all that. But to be more specific, we talked about getting Fire to scream a little bit later on. And definitely gonna look forward to how that turns out and see if that is a new sort of a main element in the sound.
I want it to be. It's a little bit hard to learn.
We'll
see.
Or else I just have to sit in my car and scream.
But you already have like some background growls and screams in some of the songs.
That's Alexander.
So it's
it's recorded in my car.
Really? It sounds so smooth though, like so well done.
Thank you.
Well blended in.
And a lot of takes.
I can imagine.
But it was the best acoustical environment I had. The cars are really great. Apparently.
Maybe we should just.
Record.
Make a studio in a car, maybe.
So we play around with it a little bit already. And I think it suits those sort of big, sort of bombastic parts a lot.
I want to have a lot more of that. Like, I really like the way Spirit Box is doing it. The amount of screaming and singing. I really like the balance in that. So I think it could be cool if we could achieve that kind of balance, especially on the last EP. That would fit really well, I think.
The heavy one.
That's more heavy EP, the last EP. I really like the next EP, but also the last one.
I always get a massive hard on for melodic singing and screaming layered on top of each other, like in Sirius Breakfast in the big part. It just has so much energy and so much rhythm.
We have to get it more like out there because it's a little bit in the background.
And also as we've done now, I think one of our biggest sort of trademarks is all of this harmony stuff, having basically on every part sort of thick layers of harmonies. And you say you're not good at music theory, but for some reason you can do harmonies
I have a good ear.
On the whim.
I have a good ear. I don't know what I'm doing. I know it sounds good.
That's good enough. I mean,
we're definitely gonna keep harnessing that. Already on the next EP, we talked a lot about not just doing the pop sort of thirds and fifths harmonies a lot, but we do more sort of intertwined lines and
experiment more.
It's sick.
It's sick.
I'm looking forward to that. In that sense, that means probably that the two other EPs will be quite different in terms of sound based on the concept. Are you going to align like the lyrics and the main topics you're exploring with the sound, or how's it going to be?
I would say because the next is called Humane, so that's a lot about that. Inhumane, which is the last one, the heavy one, is going to be more about the darker parts of humanity, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'll try and make it make sense.
Of course, yeah.
And I think with what we got so far in the coming one, it's more sort of bubbly and melodic than at least this one is, which is sort of in between one. So it's a bit more, I wouldn't say poppy, but it has those more uplifting.
And also more like vulnerable in a sense and warm.
Well, that will be exciting. You're going to explore like literally all the spectrums of humanity, so that's a great concept. Have you thought about already about how you want to release it in terms of how much time you're going to give the first one before you start promoting the second one, or is it too early to say about that?
I think we have some loose ideas, but there's also a lot of practicality stuff because we're recording now and we actually don't know when we're done. Suddenly Corona kicks back in and
maybe.
but we're finishing as fast as we can, and then maybe in the end of the year, or maybe we'll push it to beginning of next year. It also depends on if we get shows or stuff like that.
Of course.
It has to make sense with the rest.
Maybe it's too early to release it this year. Maybe we should wait too. We'll see.
Or maybe start releasing singles and then have more time between the singles and then release one this year and the full thing next.
Because now we have very short time between the two singles and the EP, so 2 weeks.
But hopefully we'll be finished before the summer ends. We should have it almost done, at least sent to mix and master. And we already have all of the artwork and stuff like that.
That's nice.
The one that we used for this one, what's his name?
Ramon something.
Ramon Rodriguez.
Where is he from? Portugal or something?
Yeah, he's from Brazil.
Oh, Brazil.
Does and that's also a big thing we talked about. That we wanted the artwork to, of course, be unique in a way, but also reflect this. Kind of being an artwork within itself. So we contacted this dude who does sort of woodcut. So it's a linoleum print of woodcut. So he cuts it out by hand and then prints it on a piece of paper. And we really like that. And then we have it color coded. So we have actually the same artwork for all 3 EPs, but the color scheme is different. So it kind of reflects different changes as well.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And the artwork is also really, really good. It's just also by itself, it's a good piece of art, but also in connection to the music. And it's really important. I think I had a talk with another artist a few days ago about this exactly, that nowadays artwork is almost as important as the music. It goes together. So
especially a lot of metal bands are going into like getting really beautiful pieces of art, like professional painters to paint their That I think it's a really cool trend. That it's not just of course it can be difficult and really beautiful to make like digital art, but I think it's really cool that there's this trend of analog.
Definitely.
And also it's like we try to do it a lot, at least. Not keeping company secrets and sort of locking ourselves in, but also shouting out our friends and every time we work with somebody, make sure that we also try to lift them up with ourselves. And it's the same thing with other careers. If music people work with artists a lot and they lift each other, everybody wins. Same with video guys or people who take pictures or whatever it is. The sort of whole creative business as a whole needs to lift each other, or else we'll just drown in ads on Facebook and stuff like that. Right? So I think it's a good trend that we're kind of keeping each other busy a little bit in that sense, and of course paying for people doing work for you. It's also a big thing, and not expecting free stuff all the time.
We took our pictures.
The pictures, I saw. That's really cool. She's awesome. She's an awesome photographer.
She's really good.
Spider-Woman. She's hypermobile as fuck.
Yes,
I
yeah.
know that.
That's true. Yeah, she's great. But yeah, I totally agree. Like it's especially in the creative industry, people should support each other, and I see that it's happening a lot, which is really heartwarming to see.
Yeah.
People are really getting the idea right, I think.
Yeah, but I think at least in the Danish metal scene, probably also somewhere else, it at least the last few years has been a tendency to keep secrets in a way, right, and not exposing how we did this or where did you get that that video stuff or whatever, but sharing with all experience, right?
Yeah.
We also share our. We made a whole Excel spreadsheet of contacts, blogs, and music reviewers and all of that. We also share that with. I share it with clients. Clients, for example. Yeah. Yeah, because it helps them out, right? And they definitely help us back, or at some point probably they will, right?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
When people want to help you, want to help them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I think it's in a way it's the same reason why we should lift other creatives up. It's the same within our own space. That we should also lift other bands because we all grow from it in the end, right?
Of course, yeah. Definitely. I think that's the right mindset to have.
Yeah.
It's good to see this change happening because I have noticed that it wasn't like that some years ago, at least from what I've heard and what I've seen.
No.
But it's definitely the way. Well, you spoke a little bit about touring. Do you think, or do you have plans to tour this EP in promotion? And in case you do, like, have you thought about anything specific in terms of stage performance? And is it going to be kind of complementing the EP in some way, or what's your situation with the touring? And I know it's hard to say in this current world we live in, but yeah.
Now we opened up here in Denmark, no restrictions. So we really want to have a release show at some point soon, and we contacted some places, but they haven't really gotten back to us yet. And then we applied for a Danish tour. I can't remember the name. Plexus tour.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think we'll get some answers soon. We also applied for Uhørt, right? The festival.
Yeah.
But they didn't pick us.
Oh, they didn't pick us. Okay. Yeah. But hopefully we'll get some answers soon. I think they've been really, really busy and also just on hold because of Corona. So
it's been hard to say because a lot of shows are also getting cancelled, even though the restrictions are on.
Everything is getting pushed in front of them all the time. Yeah, so we actually talked about it before we set up the whole release plan thing, and we tried to get a release show and stuff like that, but we just figured that we couldn't wait around for it, so might as well release, and then maybe next time we'll get some shows.
We'll just get we wouldn't be the first band to get a pretty late release show because of Corona. Like Cabal, they had a late release show. They joked about it on the stage, like, oh yeah, it's been a year. So
here we go.
Here's the album.
Yeah, exactly. But it's never too late. I mean, it's always nice to have this, and it will be awesome to hear it live. I think there is really good potential for a really good live show with this type of music.
And of course, we need a drummer for that, so we have some session drummers. Yeah. Also from other friendly bands. So that is the tactic for now until we find someone who clicks and we can have on full time. Yeah. Then we'll have a group of people we can call, and then hopefully one of them are able to take the dates, right? Yeah, and we talked about for live shows. I'm the sort of technical director of Être these days, and we talked about having some of our own live show with us that we can program to the songs, and because it always looks super cool, and it just works really well visually, and we can control it and making it exactly how we want it. But also financial stuff and all of that plays into it as well, because it's not cheap to buy lamps, 10 lamps for us. So maybe it will be a gradual thing.
It's not first priority.
No.
At least.
Especially when don't have any shows planned.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but for sure that is a thing we're going to look into. And we talk a lot about stage presence and having sort of not that we have to have a specific look or anything, but we talk about how to present this thing a lot. So hopefully it will turn out sick.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Yeah, because that's a really the concept you have with the EPs. It's really, you can really do a lot, I think, with the visuals and the white show as well, which will be awesome. But yeah, I hope we see that, because I'm really excited, and I also miss live shows. So of course.
Me too.
I'm still waiting for the Ocean tour.
Oh yeah.
We've gone twice.
I can't remember if I had tickets for that.
Yeah,
I think I do.
Yeah, I do.
But I had tickets for so many things. I really hope that I'm not forgetting.
I have a ticket for the Tesseract show that got pushed 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I have that.
So what are you doing in the 5th of May 2023?
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Copenhagen's gonna happen this year.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
It's exciting.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Book us. Book us.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yes. Well, then the next two questions I have are more on an inspirational note. It's about your current music obsession, so to say. What are you listening to that you would recommend to everyone?
Yeah, Hypotractor. Both of us listen a lot to Hypotractor.
Okay.
It's a new band from where?
Belgium.
Belgium?
Yeah. They're from Pelagic Records, the Oceans record label.
They released their first album this year, and it's really, really good. It's very proggy. If people like Couture and stuff like that, they would really like this as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's like most of the Pelagic bands, also LNN, the Danish, who just released Unmaker on the same record label. It's more sort of straightforward in a way, and Hypotractor is as well, I think.
Yeah.
It's the sort of the perfect blend of this proggy, genty stuff with some straightforward motorcycle.
Yeah, it's really
riffs.
heavy and groovy, and like it has a gent element as well. Yeah.
And both they are clean and
both clean and
pretty vocals.
Yeah. And he's really good vocalist, really, really good. And then I listen a lot to Igor at the moment. Which is, do you know Igor?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit, not like
weird breakcore, glitchy stuff.
Yeah.
Both like metal and opera and all sorts of weird stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, those things are awesome.
The latest release, Spirituality and Distortion. It's called. It's really, really good. The latest album.
Yeah, and we don't really agree on a lot of bands, I think. Most of the time. I'm always a big The Human Abstract fan. RIP, The Human Abstract. I think they quit in 2012 or something like that. But I think I went to high school. Digital Veil I think it's from 2011. It's still the best record I ever heard, and I still listen to that a lot. The Ocean, of course, I listen to a lot, as will also show on some of the later EPs. Mastodon is a big thing also this year with the Hush and the Grim. I listen to some Ariana Grande from time to time. Yeah. Also Phrasing Machine, Boys to Men, Mariah Carey.
It's a diverse music taste you have.
Yeah, but I listen to so much music that oftentimes, as we just talked about with Hypotractor, we were both like, I listened to it for 3 weeks, now
we can
I'm
both
done.
agree on Hypotractor, yeah. But I also like stuff like Stasia, which is like trap, hardcore trap, like metal elements. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Trap stuff. Yeah. Alexander doesn't like that.
It can be too much. I understand.
Blood music to me.
Stasia is really, really good.
And Spirit Box we both listen to a lot. Actually, and Architects I think we listen to a lot. Maybe not so much. Not so much the newest one.
No, it's not. Couture and Tool. Always Couture and Tool.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Same thing. Wu-Tang Clan is nice. I can agree.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing. Both Axel and Christian come from a whole different background than us. Christian likes indie stuff and sort of more jazzy stuff as well. He likes Snarky Puppy a lot.
Okay.
But also Billie Eilish.
Yeah, Billie Eilish.
I like her a lot too.
Yeah. And Axel is more of a funk guy, I think. Corey Wong and Dirty Loops and stuff like that. I listen to that quite a lot.
Yeah.
And Bruno Mars. But I think sort of geared towards this band, Christian also likes the ocean quite a lot. And basically every band that has that sort of, I wouldn't call it sludgy, but more sort of that atmospheric point of view as well to it. And I come from a lot of that as well. I wrote my final thesis in Danish black metal. So I listened to a lot of Solbro and Death Heaven and stuff like that. A lot of Alcest as well. That sort of static soundscape with a lot of just fucking reverb overall. And Merle, of course, we listen to that as well. That is good.
That's good, but you have a lot of different tastes in the band, which is also, I guess it's good when you start writing music that you have different perspectives and influence.
Yeah, and the art is to sort of know when to not go too crazy and keep it within sort of the bounds of what we've done now.
Yeah, but I think we have like a very diverse but also very like coherent sound at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not too, songs are not too different, but they're still different enough. For it to not be boring to listen to the whole EP.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the first things that I wrote down on my notes when I was reviewing the album. It's that it's very coherent, but at the same time it's not repetitive. It's very diverse, but it still sounds like one whole thing. So you can tell that those songs were supposed to be together. It's a really good thing, and I don't think it's very easy to do that. So really big respect there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we focused on a lot, or at least Christian and I focused on a lot when we wrote this, in contrast to the old things, that some of it didn't sound like the same band as much. That it was, in a way, too diverse. I could hear that it was the same because I wrote it, but it was too different in a way. Also with the different singers and stuff, it helps to have one voice sort of keeping it together. And also that shapes how we write, because you sing best in specific keys and stuff like that. So we also have to keep it together, all different parts, and play to the different strengths. So we don't write in something you would have to sing too high and or too low. Into light, for example.
We have to
shit song.
Get better at that also. To keep a little lower.
And it's the Ariana Grande in me.
You have to pack that away. I'm not a machine. You call me a machine, but I'm not a machine. Probably a machine.
Oh, but you are.
Embrace it.
Yes. Okay.
All right. The last question I have is, again, on inspirational note. If you have to choose one or maybe several bands you tour with, like the perfect lineup for a tour of yours, which artists would you choose? Would fit the aesthetic best, so to say?
Feather Mountain, sure.
Yeah, very similar. Also Vola, I think. After last year as well, a lot bigger. But that would be a great fit as well. I think they've become more structured and more big chorus kind of band, stadium-ish band than they are prog now. But it's still a really good work. Witnesses, great work. Cold Knife Alligators as well. Is also with their new stuff. It's more structured and not so mathy and proggy. So that would be great as well. And they're also a lot bigger than us, so that would be good for us. And I think I would like to play with clients and some of those more heavy bands as well. And again, play to this diversity thing a bit. Also, having a tour package that draws from different crowds is very cool, and we also see that with bigger bands. It's a bit hit or miss sometimes.
It can be.
But there are different definitely overlaps between people who listen to clients or death metal stuff who also likes softer stuff like ours. Yeah, but also we should play with smaller bands like ourselves. We talked already. We talked with Shadowlights a bit. We also released some stuff this year, or maybe late last year. And we talked a bit with. I talked with a band called Quantum Solaris. Played with Mountain recently.
Oh yeah.
But also smaller bands in the sort of prog metal category would be really cool. As long as it's not endless blast beats. Even though I enjoy blast beats.
Yeah, that will be great. Hopefully we'll see that happen soon. It will be really exciting. But those were all the questions I had in mind. But if is there anything else you would like to add that I maybe missed, or something else we should know?
I already said that singers are horrible people. And you are, of course, the
exception.
The exception.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anders Bøller says you sing great, so apparently.
Yeah,
apparently you do.
Singing. That's nice. Thank you, Anders.
No, if you missed anything, talk. A lot of revealed our nerdy sides as well as our more artsy sides.
Yes.
Yeah. Guitar Pro, I would like to state for the record that Guitar Pro is the best software out there. I have a coupon code.
Nice.
Sign up today.
Yeah.
No, it was good questions.
Yeah. It's not given that people sort of get the sort of the whole band thing, both the aesthetic and the genre as well. And sometimes you just ask random shit. And that's also funny, but it's also funny to talk more seriously about, because we spend a lot of time on these things and money as well. Yeah, so it's always great to share some of the more serious thoughts as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm glad to share.
Yeah, but thank you. Yeah, it was for me also a very interesting conversation, and I was really looking forward to learn more like the insights of the creation process and what goes on in your mind. So it was amazing to hear this all, and hopefully one day we can do it again, maybe with the next EPs. I would be happy to.
Yeah, for sure. We have 2 more coming, so.
Yeah. So, perfect. But yes, thank you very much, and I'll be looking forward to a concert soon, hopefully.
Yes.
Me too.